Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a brand new episode of Bahrain Now. Tonight's episode is filled with amazing talents as we highlight one of the country's greatest pioneers and entrepreneurs. I'm Bara Abdallah, and this is Bahrain Now. So, food trucks are causing quite a scene here in Bahrain. They're definitely taking over the streets of Bahrain. And we gotta admit, getting your food from a truck is very convenient and exciting plan. Our next guest constructs those trucks you see today. So say hello and thank you for this amazing personality, Hussein Khalil. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. First of all, thank you for having me on your show.
Pleasure.
The pleasure is all mine. Yes, we do construct the food trucks, and we have initiated the food truck culture in Bahrain, and we commercialized it a couple of years ago.
Okay.
And as you can see now, you cannot turn to any corner in Bahrain or
There's a food truck.
there's a food truck. Absolutely.
Amazing, amazing. I mean, you're known to invent and reinvent several times when it comes to initiativities, creativity, but what made you go to the food truck industry?
What started was a couple of years ago, I read an article in the newspaper that the ministry is actually studying to legalize the food trucks.
Nice.
And to be precise, the mobile trucks in the Kingdom of Bahrain. So as they say, always be ready for an opportunity.
Right.
I believe it was my time and I was ready for it. So I actually went over and started doing my homework and research on how to build a truck and what are the components for it, how can we legalize it, and how can I help the authorities to see how it can be legalized accordingly and then commercialize it. So that's how it started, and we constructed the first one. And within a span of 8 to 9 months, we had our first food truck CR.
Amazing,
actually.
amazing. What was the first food truck you ever constructed?
The first food truck we constructed was for one interesting client.
Okay.
She wanted to have mini bites and stuff like that on wheels. And basically there were two. One was for coffee and one was for food.
Okay.
And alhamdulillah, they are now available on the streets.
Amazing.
And they're serving the Kingdom of Bahrain. And also you can see them a lot in events.
Beautiful, beautiful. Now, you have mastered the skill of food truck culture, I would say at this point, and the industry of food trucks. But I think you can do more than just food trucks, right? You have a truck, you can do whatever you want to do with it. So what other creative ideas have you done with the truck?
Well, that is the slogan of It's on Wheels.
Right.
My company is called It's on Wheels for a purpose. If you have an idea, if you have a business, why not on wheels?
Exactly.
It's on wheels. That was the whole purpose of It's on Wheels. So we can have anything on a mobile truck. It's not necessarily focused on food. It can be related to, for example, a salon shop on wheels. It can be an office on wheels. It can be mobile, like how we have it right now, a mobile clinic on wheels, mobile testing unit, so on and so forth. So the general term is mobile truck. Any business can be on wheels.
Beautiful. Is there an idea that you want to see it on wheels, that you feel like, you know, you're waiting for the right client, for him or her to ask you to do?
Absolutely. There is a lot of ideas that I'm looking forward to put them on wheels, especially mobile salon, mobile office, a mobile clinic, and so on and so forth. And recently, they are going to launch the mobile office.
Nice.
We have manufactured an office into a van, which can go all over Bahrain, and that is their mobile unit. It has a complete set of laptops, screens, and everything, with its advertising unit at the backside. And it's going to be soon launched in public. And that's how we say mobile trucks. So that's the start. We are going to shift from food into mobile industry.
Amazing, amazing. I mean, so apparently, like when somebody gives you an idea, it depends on the idea itself, right? Or is there an average of how long we'll construct a truck?
Normally, that's a fantastic question. Normally, when someone gives us an idea, we tell the client we will take a couple of days to study the idea and understand it. And then we come back after doing our homework. Be it a new concept which is available as an activity in the ministry as a commercial registration, or even if it is not there, what are the criteria for legalizing it so that the client can implement it and we can manufacture it, and then they can be out in the market. Because if the client grows and the client is successful, we have done our job perfect to the maximum.
Beautiful. Now, with the trucks and all of that, and the pandemic taking place last year with 2020, all of a sudden, food trucks were like everywhere, right? They were like superheroes, and giving us that social activity. You're like, oh, we can't go to restaurants, but we can go to that one main road and just choose from amazing, beautiful looking food trucks, and it was a beautiful scene. Now, what do you think of that? I mean, how did you keep up with all that demand?
Well, as they say, there are certain things which are opportunities. Now, what happened last year was, due to the pandemic, everything got shut down marginally, and the food truck demand increased because there is no dine-in. And it was actually part of the social distancing. You just come and pick up your food and leave.
Right.
So the demand sparked and spiked. And we increased the size of our facility.
Okay.
And we were able to meet the demand of Bahrain for the food trucks. And soon after the pandemic, we will go back to exporting our food trucks and mobile trucks into the market.
Amazing, amazing. You know, like a lot of my friends and people even you would know, they were like, you know what? That's it. I'm going to open a business right now. I'm going to open my own food truck. As if it's just like an opening account on Google or a Gmail. But it's not really that easy, right? So what goes into opening a food truck or even getting one?
Okay. Opening any kind of business, it's not easy as it sounds, but having your food truck is always better to start with. You build your name in the market because the initial investment is very minimal. You don't need more than 3,000 to 5,000 dinars to start for a food truck.
Right.
And you can actually create a name for yourself in the market and slowly grow it until eventually you will have your own outlet, your own restaurant, your own business. As long as you're testing yourself in the market and you see what are the requirements, how people's tastes change, and you tune it according to your requirements and the people's requirements, and then you can go ahead.
Amazing, amazing. I mean, food trucks, it's been like a culture. Like whether it's in the States, Saudi Arabia is booming as well, and in Bahrain. Are these different cultures?
Yes, and at the same time, the food truck culture was already there.
Okay.
Let me share a very interesting point with you. Food truck, as more as it is a culture, it has become part of the GDP of the Kingdom of Bahrain.
Beautiful.
It has added value more than 500,000 dinars into the GDP of Bahrain.
That's amazing.
Today we have on road more than 400 trucks.
Amazing.
So you're talking about 400 plus families who are earning an additional income from the truck. And also the SMEs are the building blocks of any kind of economy.
Right.
So it's a culture in Bahrain which is just started, and it is improving, and they are adding to it. And the most important thing is that it has added a lot to our GDP, which has become a very, very important segment and part of this economy.
It is essential. I mean, food trucks is like becoming like part of Bahraini culture right now. You see them in a lot of places, and now even some trucks are even famous. So it's beautiful. Like there are several food trucks that whenever I see them, I feel like, oh my God, I want to go to that place. You know, the vibe is so good. Now, with all that being said, Hussein, what is your advice to the young entrepreneurs, even the one existing right now?
Well, the best advice I can give to the young Bahraini entrepreneurs is don't be afraid of failure. Do not be afraid of failure. Find out what you love and do it to the maximum. If you're going to start, go all the way. Otherwise, don't even start it. Knowing what you want and what is your purpose, it's very easy in theory, but how you're going to implement it and not being afraid of failure is the most important thing. Even if you fail, you should know that every step you fail is another step to success. So all the best. And also, if you want to start your mobile business, you can always contact me, Hussein Khalil. My business is It's on Wheels.
All right.
And I believe that's enough advice for them.
There you go, man. There
Absolutely.
you go. So what's the future of food trucks? What do you see happening for Bahrain?
Well, the future of food trucks is that according to the new rules and regulations, as I can see, they are building specific locations and specific areas dedicated for the food trucks and the mobile trucks. So there is a whole family-friendly and dine-in areas being built dedicated to the food trucks,
Right.
which is actually organizing this kind of industry, and it is actually making it grow for the economy. And sooner or later, we are going to see in the near future exchange of food trucks between our neighboring countries.
Wow.
A food truck which is successful over here can cross the causeway and be somewhere in Kuwait and be somewhere in Saudi and so on and so forth. So this is actually having a lot of future, and it is going to grow and boom in other aspects.
I can only imagine. I can see you right now having a lot of influence into that matter.
Absolutely.
Beautiful things. Thank you so much, Mr. Hussein, for being with us here on Bahrain Now.
Thank you very much for having me, and hope to see you soon.
Definitely.
Done.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have an idea, you want it on wheels, you got Hussein Khalil for it. Stay tuned for more happening here on Bahrain Now. Ladies and gentlemen, we have here tonight an internationally acclaimed Taekwondo athlete and a Royal Medal awardee who is shaping the local martial arts landscape. Arab champion, Asia bronze medalist, and a World Beach silver medalist. Our guest is also the first Bahraini to coach the lead para-athletes to the international victory in martial arts. Outside of active competitions, she serves as a full-time communications and CSR specialist in one of the prestigious international banks in the country. Sits on the Bahrain Combat Sports Council Board and runs her own sports business, Sport to Door. Fajr Al-Bin Ali, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
It is definitely an honor. So can I call you Wonder Woman? That was an amazing resume. So you're known as an athlete, but you're an entrepreneur at the same time.
Correct.
So tell us about your business.
So I've always been a huge fan of martial arts. I practiced Taekwondo from a very early age. And that sort of like facilitated my transitioning into the coaching path while continuing to develop myself as a professional athlete. And during my travels in competitions and training camps, courses, etc., I was really struck with the absence of a full-fledged standalone martial arts shop in many of the countries I visited. So after having worked in the banking sector for around 6 years, and developing myself as a professional athlete for around 3 years, I felt it was the right time for me to venture into the martial arts industry, and that's how I started my business, Sport to Door, which was around 4 years ago.
Amazing. So why the name Sport to Door?
I'm a firm believer that in order to promote something, you need to make it very convenient and easily accessible. So the words to door and Sport to Door are intended to capture that concept of convenience, which is really at heart of everything we do be it pricing, be it the wide range of products we provide, our proximity to the majority of the martial arts clubs in the kingdom, and even like our ability to offer an online shopping experience for our customers.
Amazing, amazing. And now with the pandemic, how did that change, let's say, the entrepreneurship skills or even your business at this point?
Well, it's been challenging for us. As a business, we're divided into two parts: the distribution of martial arts supplies, and the provision of training services.
Amazing.
So, in terms of like the retail and the wholesale part of the business, the shops in Bahrain have been closed for a minimal period last year. So that wasn't a big thing to manage. But we did, what really helped during that period was that we had a fully operational web store through which we were able to continue to sell our products and deliver them to clients.
Amazing.
And, but what was really also difficult to manage was that the martial arts clubs remained closed for a very long time, several months. So that sort of like reduced significantly the demand for martial arts products, which we sold in our shop. And we noticed at the same time that there was like an increase in the demand for home fitness products. So we jumped into that trend early on, and we really benefited from, transforming our business toward that direction. But with regards to our training services themselves, it's been a bit more challenging to manage. For example, we provide Taekwondo training services to schools and to preschools, and that has completely stopped since around February last year. And so since then, we haven't been able to do that, as schools are struggling to make a solid return to physical presence. So, but as a club, we shifted our training with the first wave of closure. We shifted it to online training. We offered online training, and that worked for a while. It was actually our only option back then. And now, as we are closed again, as Taekwondo, like martial arts clubs and gyms, we are thankful that we're able to offer our training outdoors. Given that the current rules and the weather conditions allow for this. So we're managing this way. And I would really like to extend my thanks to the management and the administration of Riyadat Mall for supporting us during the closure period, us as a business and other startup tenants. It's been really instrumental for our survival as a business, so I would like to take this opportunity to extend my thanks to them.
Well, that's amazing, and thanks to them, of course, and everybody in Bahrain who are trying their best to make it a safe country, to stop the spread. Now, from entrepreneurship to the athleticism as well. Now, you actually kind of like supported a beautiful group of athletes to shine on the Taekwondo online competition. Tell us about that.
Yes, what's ironic is that although we were struggling to make ends meet economically on the training side of things, we did manage to achieve incredible milestones with the athletes that we were coaching.
Beautiful.
So as you may know, Taekwondo is divided into different forms of competition. The most popular one is Kyorugi, which is combat. But that has completely stopped during COVID. It's been severely impacted. But on the other hand, Pumse competitions, which is forms competition, has increased in popularity. So in Pumse competitions, an athlete would perform a recognized sequence of attack and defense movements, and then they would get assessed based on their accuracy and their presentation of these techniques. And this type of competition has been able to adapt during COVID, and a lot of organizers have been able to offer it on a virtual basis, whereby athletes would either compete in live virtual competitions or through pre-recorded videos of their performances, and then uploading them for assessment. Yeah, so we've participated in around 8 online competitions last year. Yes, while the majority of athletes in different sports were not able, unfortunately, to continue their participation and achieving their milestones. We are very blessed to have been able to do that. And we made a total of 25. We brought home a total of 25 international medals through our athletes in both regular and para events.
So we were like going all full force, like 8 virtual online competitions, and you made it happen. Well, bless you for that, and thank you so much for the amazing efforts.
Thank you very much.
So what's the deal right now? What's happening? So where are we going with the trainings and all of this, with Taekwondo aspect?
Well, one of the most important medals that we've won is actually from our very first participation. It was through our Down syndrome star athletes, Rawan Al-Saad and Noura Zainal. So Noura won gold and Rawan won bronze in the Arab Online Parapomse competition, which was organized by the People of Determination Council at the Dubai Police in collaboration with the UAE Taekwondo Federation. They competed against 19 contestants from 6 Arab nations.
Wow.
So it was a huge win actually for us as a club, but also like for Bahrain, because it was the first international win for para athletes in any martial arts form.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
So that's been really encouraging for us, because we realized that we were doing exceptionally well compared to, let's say, neighboring countries in developing para athletes. So I went on to actually become qualified as a para taekwondo coach by World Taekwondo, which is the official governing body for the sport of taekwondo. So this allows me to sit as a coach for para athletes in both Kyorugi and Pumse competitions, which are either held nationally or internationally at the level of G1 starred events. So it's been a huge transformation for us, and I think it's been kind of also like a game changer, like at the level of the local landscape.
I can only imagine.
Yeah, it's raised so much awareness that para athletes can compete in a safe environment in martial arts and gain international medals. To the extent that the Down Syndrome Care Center themselves have signed an agreement with us to collaborate and promote Taekwondo amongst their, the Down syndrome children registered with the center, and to create the first para martial arts team in Bahrain. So that's been huge for us. We started with Noura and Rawan only as our, the Down syndrome star athletes, and now we have around 11 intellectually impaired athletes and two deaf athletes.
Unbelievable, it's phenomenal. They are star athletes, all of them. That's beautiful. I mean, and the effort you're putting together and putting all these athletes together to showcase their amazing talents. I mean, that's just amazing and phenomenal. So thank you so much.
For me, it's personally one of the most rewarding experiences in my life to be able to give back in such a way.
It is definitely rewarding. And with all that being said, apparently you have an exclusive video for Bahrain Now.
Yes, it's a clip actually from our participation in an international initiative which is led by the Dubai Police Academy in collaboration with the UAE Taekwondo Federation, UAE Paralympic Committee, and under the supervision of World Para Taekwondo. And this initiative aims to promote Taekwondo to 10,000 para athletes from all around the world. So the clip is basically our participation in one of the sessions, and it's led by our black belter Hanouk Aziz, who is a deaf athlete, and with around maybe 10 or 11 intellectually impaired athletes.
All right, so I guess with that, let's watch the video. So ladies and gentlemen, let's have a watch right now. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was amazing. It was a phenomenal performance.
Thank you very much.
With that, any last words you want to say to the viewers around the world here on Bahrain Now?
Well, I would like to really express my thanks to Sheikh Salman bin Mohammed Al Khalifa, who is the president of the Bahrain Combat Sports Council, for all the support he's shown in promoting the para-martial arts movement in the kingdom, to the Down Syndrome Care Center and the Bahrain Deaf Sports Association, and also the event sponsors Clockwork for sponsoring our participation in this international initiative. I look very much to growing our partnerships and making more meaningful collaborations with other entities in order to be able to serve the wider community.
Well, I'm sure Bahrain is proud of you and all the achievements and all the support you've been giving to Bahrain. Thank you so much for being with us here on Bahrain Now.
Thank you once again. It's been a pleasure.
Pleasure's all ours. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching as we saw a tremendous inspirational story. Stay tuned for more happening here on Bahrain Now.
Today we want to talk about the vaccination as a part of fighting pandemic. The vaccine, as we know, is an important pillar of fighting the pandemic. Bahrain has done a lot of effort to provide all the type of vaccines to fight the pandemic, so we can cover the majority of the population who need to get vaccinated. We started with the vaccination earlier in end of November with the emergency authorization of Sinopharm vaccine. Since then, we have added multiple vaccines like Covishield, Pfizer, Sputnik. All these vaccines are available for all people who are living in Bahrain, whether Bahraini or non-Bahraini, free of charge. To make it easier to people, we have an online booking appointment to get the vaccine, and you have the choices of what type of vaccine you want to get. You will then receive a message that's saying that you have this appointment for this vaccine, and that's in that particular part. The vaccine is available in multiple sites like health center, exhibition center, and recently you have a Citra Mall in order to be able to cope with all the people who are asking for the vaccination, so we can vaccinate as much as we can. Up till now, around 250,000 have received 2 doses of vaccine, and around 4,900 have received the first dose. We need to reach at least 80% of all those who are eligible for vaccine get vaccinated, so we can have the herd immunity and protect our community. We do advise all people who have not asked for appointment for vaccination to get the appointment for their vaccine and do that as early as possible. All the vaccination available in Bahrain are safe and are effective, and they are provided free of charge to all people. Please, even if you get vaccinated, as we didn't reach yet the amount, the percentage of those people who need to be vaccinated for us to protect the community, you need to follow still all the advices that we advise people all the time since we started this pandemic, which is keep social distancing, wear your mask, sanitize your hand. All this is required as collective effort from everybody who is living in this country in order to fight the pandemic. So please, if you are not vaccinated, get your vaccines now. And if you are vaccinated, please keep social distancing, wear your mask, and follow all the required procedures so we can all fight this pandemic and get the country to the safe shore. Thank you.
In its fourth event, the Food is Culture Festival took place on Saturday, the 27th of March 2021. An event that brought together the worlds of food and arts in one space at Sheikh Salman bin Ahmed Al Fatih Fort in Rafah, where the duo behind Alabaster and Cannoli, Lara Al Abbasi and Maria Knowles, worked with artist Salman Al Najm to create a distinctive creative experience. A limited number of pioneers of the cultural movement in Bahrain have attended the event.
This evening, our theme that we're trying to go for is that Bahrain is a place where cultures bridge and come together. And so we did some pieces as well as the food this evening to kind of tell the story over time.
And we're highlighting each dish based on certain grains. So we're starting with the past, and the grain that we chose to highlight was rye. We moved to the present, and the grain that we chose was rice. And then finally, it's the future, and we chose all-purpose flour for that one. So we're really just trying to tell the story through these grains and highlight how much Bahrain's food community has developed over time.
It's just important to us. I think one of the big themes of this is that we can't have food without community, and community obviously needs people, whether it's the people cooking the food, eating the food. Everyone is sort of one big family when it comes to like culture and history with food.
We all play a role, really and truly, in our own food community. So we really wanted to shed light on that and show that it's more than just one person doing it. Yeah.
I'm happy to be here and participating in Food is Culture this year. I'm showing two of my characters, two of my dolls on exhibit on the stage right now. They're a representation of us, people of Bahrain. They look like us. They're kind of a humoristic, kind of more a lighter version of ourselves, to be kind of something that represents us, but also not at the same time.
Reporting for Bahrain International, I'm Maryam Al-Bayati. Thank you for watching. The Bahrain Red Crescent Society began distributing Holy Ramadan's Eid to more than 4,000 families over 73 cities and villages of Bahrain.
What we are doing today is one day of the total of 2 weeks. We are distributing all these relief goods to the families, which when they are registered around 4,297.
We're really happy to participate in this event to help the Red Crescent Society of Bahrain. Bahrain Bikers, although it's a team of hobby, we are more than 100 members in the team. We are actually divided into groups. Every day we come to the society and we help the cars to smoothly enter to the place.
Ramadan is coming, and the Bahrain Red Crescent Society are, giving the needed food for Ramadan, and I'm so pleased to be participating today with my sisters, my friends.
The distribution process continues over 10 days, each day of which is allocated to several areas close to each other according to a specific timetable.
This year we start from the beginning for all the areas, all the cities and the villages. We covered already 6 days, 1 week ago, and this is the second week, and we'll continue till Thursday.
The society has followed all the precautionary measures in light of the COVID-19 pandemic to ensure safe and smooth distribution of aid to the needy families.
To away from COVID-19, we are very close to the people, and this year we keep them coming with the car to waive all these COVID-19. Volunteers, they are doing very well. We have volunteers from Red Crescent, we have the bikers, we have even from others. They are coming, they are asking to help, and I would like to thank all of them. Or the who they are also walking, they are coming daily to the Red Crescent, they are asking to help. I would like to thank all of them.
Thank you, and thank the Bahrain Red Crescent Society to give us such an opportunity to help the society in Bahrain.
Thank you for all the girls are with me. Thank you for all the, the guys are like, helping and doing very important job as a Bahraini.
Mariam Al-Bayati reporting for Bahrain International. Thank you for watching.
Celebrating motherhood and the great bond of family every day is what Love and Inspire exhibition has showcased, featuring some beautiful artworks by many local artists that have joined together with their loved ones to present such inspiring pieces.
This is the first time in Bahrain we are doing. In this difficult times, we decided that family, it's one of the things which keeps people together and happy. So we decided to give this opportunity for mothers and children to come together and exhibit their lovely work. And it was actually, this idea was taken with great enthusiasm by all the families, and they worked very hard to create all these wonderful artworks. What we see, it helps to encourage younger generation to paint and bring younger generations to gallery. And we really appreciate that Bahrain Financial Harbor given us such a prestigious location to host this exhibition. We faced a lot of challenges because we had to follow all the rules and keep everyone safe, of course, and everyone was very cooperative. And special thanks from all the artists to Sheikha Hala bint Muhammad Al Khalifa for being amazing guest of honor, because she warmed up hearts of all the artists, and the younger artists and established artists were very happy to have her opening our exhibition. So, and I'm also participating artist, and with my son and daughter, and I would like to show you some of our paintings.
I drew these paintings in 2016 when I was inspired by rainbows from all its colors. I dreamt about all kinds of rainbows, boxes, circles, and all of that. I thought rainbows can't always be a semicircle, so I did these rainbow boxes, version 1 and version 2. These two paintings were created by my elder sister, Dana Janahi. This is Sun Mandala, and this is Sea Mandala. And my mom's artwork, Irina Kotova, what inspired her was my joining of sailing in real life, and she drew all the pictures of boats of sailing. She used to do Bahrain boats, but now she makes sailing boats.
I've been living in Bahrain for last 5 years, and in this 5 years I have really been active on the art scene, and I am blessed that the people, the artists, the organizers I have met, they are really supportive. The society is amazing. And this exhibition is another such opportunity which I'm thankful for. It's called Love and Inspire, and this concept is really new. I have not seen this in Bahrain before, and it's about your tie-up with families, how you are bonded, how strong the ties are. So this piece of mine, it's called Iridescent Night, and it's a bond that we have with our families. Only when we are bonded, we have strength in our roots, we can bloom beautifully. So the lotuses, they bloom only when we are nurtured by our parents, family, friends, and also the family ties has to be very strong. Wherever we go in the world, even if we are separated for circumstances, for studies, for job, anything, if we are connected to our roots, we will always be strong. So that is what my painting is about.
Basically, my passion for art started when I was very young. I was always surrounded in art because my family is a family of artists, and I developed an interest in landscapes very quickly. This is my painting. It's called Nostalgic Days, and it's definitely something that I've been wanting to paint for a long time. Like I mentioned, I'm interested in landscapes, and the meaning behind this painting is just nostalgia, and it ties up with the bond of family. It's a serene, vivid view, and it has a rich and earthy waterfall, which is kind of like the idealized form of calm and tranquility. What I mean by is when you're free, when you're independent, when you're gone out from your family, you miss them, you long for them, and you meet them. And that is basically what this nostalgia means.
This painting of ours, they have been created in such a way that they are linked. Mine is called Iridescent Night and hers is called Nostalgic Day. How days and night, they are separate but still they are together in the same way. Sometime in the family we can be separate but we are always together in heart. So you can say we complement each other today also, black and white, and that is the theme behind being connected.
Families, they always have the differences, and that's what I like about them, how different but how united they can be. And definitely that's something that we incorporated in these paintings, because you can see the color scheme, they're same but the styles are different, and in a fusion, that's how I think family is.
Assalamu alaikum Bahrain. My name is Sylvia Kowal and I'm the co-founder of Sylvia's Cakes. My main goal is to introduce the different flavors which we have in Europe to Bahrain. I do believe that a lot of people are searching right now for different flavors, different colors, and the real cakes, the real taste of happiness, which I really want you to introduce to. My mentor was my auntie, which she was the chef by herself and the owner of the restaurant back home in Poland. And I remember when we always was visiting her as a family gathering, she was always perfect. The food was so delicious, sweets, the setup was everything like a five-star restaurant. So I always was telling myself, I want to be like her. So this moment, it's few years later when a lot of things experienced in my life happened. I went through different type of job, from physiotherapy, as do I have master degree in that, through aviation and all this, a lot of years. I end up with loving the sweets from always. Since I remember, I was a very foodie person. I loved the quality of the food, the passion, the colors. Since I remember, my friends used to love my cakes, and whenever I was going for a gathering, I couldn't go with empty hands. So I was baking. And then they start telling me, Sylvia, why don't you start selling it? It's so good, it's so natural, it's so flavor. So I said, okay, why not? Then I started Instagram. It was like over 4 years ago. Apparently, since COVID started, it was like my spring, literally, because this is when people start searching on Instagram, wherever, ordering online, because they start scared. So this is when the peak time was. And this is here I am now. I want to bring the real sweets. Less sugar, which is very important, so you can taste the flavors. So the sugar will not kill the flavors by itself, like a chocolate, nuts. Fruits by itself. This is so unique, and this is what we all want, right? This is what we have in Europe. I do remember waking up when I was a child with my grandma early morning, going, because I'm from the countryside, going barefoot on the grass, smelling the nature, whatever it was. We used to grab the cherry, the tomato from the ground, from the trees. This is where I'm coming from.
It's not from the supermarket. It's not from a plastic box. No, it's from the soil. It's from the trees. This is what I want to bring it to you. Patka is one of the traditional Polish cakes, which the name is coming from Polish mountain of name Karpaty. And it's, you can see the texture is very irregular shape. It's a crispy dough hidden with vanilla cream. So the seeds are inside the cream. I'm removing the seeds from vanilla pots and I'm mixing with the cream, which you can see. The texture should be a little bit more thick. I prepare very late at night, that's why it's a little bit, it still needs to be in the fridge for at least 12 hours minimum. And this is how I'm going to put all this later on the top. Everything is homemade, everything is made from the scratch, jam, chocolate. I'm using the best ingredients. The 250 grams of vanilla is costing 86 BD. So this is like a gold for the chefs, literally. And the vanilla pods, it's the essential ingredients for most of the pastry chefs, which are producing and making the real sweets, the real pastries. I believe that passion is everything which makes difference in the whole world, because when people are passionate about something, they are going full into. You can feel all over, you can feel the energy, everything is just unique.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was it for tonight's episode. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. And don't forget to stay tuned for more coming up on Bahrain Now. For now, goodbye and God bless.